About that. Holy smokes, Kyle Lewis. Back, gone, home run. Holy smokes, gone. Oh, my. Evan White making the catch. What a play.
That long backhand flips to J.P. Crawford, throws, and that's a double play.
What a play by Kyle Seager. Justice Sheffield strikes out the side. Wow. Gone, home run, Kyle Lewis.
Marco Gonzalez, Bulldog tough, you bet.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first virtual Mariners Care community tour of the 2021 season. I'm Rick Riz, and today we're going to visit with two of our young players, Braden Bishop and Ty France, who, along with many other talented young players, are going to put together an exciting new season of Mariners baseball. Now, for the past 30-plus years, we've been able to get on a bus with the players, members of the front office, even the Mariner Moose, and travel around the Pacific Northwest. But for everyone's safety this year, because of COVID-19, we're still coming your way virtually. At this time, I would like to introduce you to two of our special guests. With us today is Mariners outfielder Braden Bishop. Braden is from Woodland, California. He started at the University of Washington, where he was a third-round pick by the Mariners in June of 2015. He made his major league debut in 2019, and he's going to play a key role with the Mariners this season. Braden, thanks for the visit tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Also with us today is Mariners infielder Ty France. He came over to the Mariners in a trade last season with the San Diego Padres. With the Mariners and the Padres last year, Ty hit over 300 with 4 home runs and 23 runs batted in. Ty, it's great to have you with us tonight as well. Great to see you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to be here, and hopefully this will be fun.
It is going to be a great time. Now, it really is an honor to be joined by Laura Fielding, who is the recreation therapist manager at Canuck Place, Children's Hospice in Vancouver, British Columbia. Along with Laura, the guys and I earlier today had a chance to visit with the kids and their parents at Canuck Place and had an incredible time. It's amazing what the folks do for the kids and their parents and their loved ones during a very difficult time. So also with us today is one of our season ticket members, Andrea Berman, who is from West Vancouver, British Columbia. Andrea and her husband, Arthur, have been season ticket members since 2000. So thanks a lot, Andrea, for being here as well. I want to start off with Laura. Laura, we really enjoyed our visit at Canuck Place today. We made our first visit there back in 2018, and it made quite an impression on us all, the work that you do with the kids and their families. Laura, can you tell us, to the folks that are watching right now, what is the mission of Canucks Place?
Sure, thanks, Rick. We're a pediatric palliative care hospice. That means we offer specialized palliative care for children and families from across BC whose kids are living with a life-limiting illness. So that basically means that, to the best of our guesses, that the children will most likely have a disease that takes their lives before the age of 20.
Wow. These are tough times for everybody. Have you adjusted, and how have you adjusted to COVID-19?
Well, I think, like so many people around the world, we're struggling. It's a challenge to adjust their programming. It's a challenge, especially when you have children that are dying and you have loved ones that want to be together. We've been very fortunate at Canuck Place that we can have a little bit more relaxed rules. So where some hospitals only have one parent at the bedside, we can have a couple of parents and siblings as well. But we still can't have grandparents in house. We've had a lot of outside visits with grandparents with children who are dying. Sometimes it's through windows, but we make the best of it.
That's amazing. Laura, over the past few years, what's it been like to see the reactions of the kids when they get a chance to see the Mariner Moose? Every time we go on a caravan, the Moose is the biggest hit. And what's it like to see the kids' reaction?
Well, I mean, I love the Moose. It's amazing. I got to say, some people think about Canuck Place and I think it's probably a depressing place to be. We've got children who are dying, but ultimately it's just kids, and kids want to live life to the fullest. They want to be engaged in activities. You have you guys coming up, the Mariners visiting the kids, and it kind of drives it home. Like, we're all just here to make connections, to be together, to meet our heroes, whether that be a Moose or a player or you, Rick, and just make that connection together. It's all about making memories.
I guess, Laura, the real heroes are you and all the ladies and all the support group that you have there at Canuck Place. Laura, thank you so much for all the great work that you and everyone at Canuck Place does for these kids, and especially for their parents. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it.
Laura Feeling. Andrea, a season ticket member since 2000. What's been your favorite Mariners memory so far, Andrea?
I think you'd have to say 2001, the season that I will never forget.
Yeah, what a year in 2001, Andrea. The Mariners won a record 116 games, more than any team in the history of the game of baseball. That was truly remarkable.
I could never have believed it. I'd seen a lot of baseball before I moved out west. But never have I seen a team who could find anybody to win a game for them, or everybody.
You made a lot of trips up and down I-5, north and south, haven't you, since 2000?
I think I could almost drive there blindfolded.
That's outstanding. All right, now it's time for some of our fans to jump in with a question or two. But before we do, I believe Andrea has a few questions for Braden and also Ty. So, Andrea, here's your chance.
Well, because I do a lot of traveling, obviously up and down I-5 to get to Seattle from Vancouver. I was wondering if you folks, because you do so much traveling, what's your favorite city to go to?
I don't know. I had a lot of fun on the just traveling around to see like all the classic stadiums, I guess you could say, New York, Toronto, like those kind of stadiums have a lot of history, and just being able to experience all those has been pretty cool.
I would say Yankee Stadium in New York is obviously, it's like baseball mecca, but I love San Diego. That was probably my favorite trip.
Andrea, you have another question for the guys?
Sure. So COVID has taken a lot out of everybody. What have you done to sort of keep your spirits up while we've been going through all of this?
For me, my fiance and I, we have a dog. So she's a puppy still, and just kind of have raised this puppy. So we got her like not too long before COVID started. And so she's killed a lot of downtime for us. It's been a lot of fun, and she brings a lot of joy to us.
I'd say the biggest things for me are I have a charity that I'm pretty involved with and hands-on. So working with them, and then I have a few other side projects, small businesses that tie me up, and then also obviously training and getting ready for the season.
That's awesome. Andrea, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it, and thank you for being a Mariners season ticket member for so many years, and we hope to see you at the ballpark real soon.
Thank you so much, Rick.
You're welcome, Andrea. Tell your husband, Arthur, we said hello as well, okay?
I will.
All right, everybody. Now it's your turn. If you want to join in and ask some questions for the guys, for Braden Bishop and Ty France, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of your window, and we'll get to your questions as soon as we can, okay? So get your questions in right now. Now, I get a chance to ask the guys a few questions, and I'm going to start off with Braden. Braden, you spent some time, I understand, living up there in Vancouver, British Columbia, when your mom was working as a movie producer on some projects. How long were you up there in Vancouver, and what do you remember about living up in Vancouver?
Well, so let's see. We're up there for 3 years, and I mean, it was probably 3 of the best years of my life. Honestly, we absolutely loved it up there. Still have a lot of close friends that live in West Vancouver, right on Marine Drive. Played hockey. Really kind of found my love for the game of baseball up there, actually, in Cypress Park Little League. Yeah, then my mom was working for the Vancouver Film School, so I spent a good amount of time downtown. But just, I mean, beautiful city. Obviously, Whistler is close, and it was pretty crazy how 15 minutes north and you get Cypress Mountain. 15 minutes south, you're on the water. So this is a beautiful, beautiful place, and usually my family and I try and go up there every year. Like all-star break time, we'll head up there and just enjoy the city. But I miss it. Definitely love it up there.
What kind of hockey player were you?
Honestly, I think the reason that I could run a little bit is because I played hockey. And honestly, a couple kids that I played with are in the NHL right now. Griffin Reinhart, Alexander Kerfoot. So I was pretty good, but who knows? Maybe I would have made it.
Rick, Braden told me that he got hit one time on the ice and he gave it up. He said he couldn't handle it.
Really?
Yeah,
that was it.
You're not allowed to hit in those ages, okay?
Yeah, it's a tough sport, man, but you guys are tough guys. Hey, I want to talk to you about your mom. Sadly, your mom passed away in 2019 from Alzheimer's, and you started an organization called For Mom to help awareness and help raise money to find a cure for the Alzheimer's disease. How much has the organization grown over the last few years? It's amazing what you and your brother and everybody have done. And how can people help you out with For Mom?
Yeah, so we started it in 2014 after she was diagnosed, and it was pretty grassroots, very organic. We weren't like pushing for big donors or anything. It was really just the thought of like, how can we help her embrace what she was going through and realize that she wasn't alone. And then that kind of just like one thing led to another, and one good connection led to another good connection, which then led us to where we're at now, where we're actually a functioning nonprofit. And, we have resources for caregivers of Alzheimer's and dementia. We also connect with, basically we have like a 3-platform approach. So we connect on the tech side and how tech is being used to help cognitive disorders. And then obviously on the medical side, which is obviously huge, trying to find a cure. And then the third part is connecting with caregivers and trying to provide resources. So it's just been nice to have this vision from 2014 and then have it manifest itself just super organically. And, hope obviously COVID kind of shifted the event space and nonprofit space. But, I hope in 2021, as things hopefully start getting better, that we can start getting out in the community some more and providing resources that are super needed.
So how can people connect with you to help you out?
Yep. So easiest way is our website, formom.org. So it's the number 4, MOM.org. And that basically has all of our information. If you want to get in touch, if you need help, all the resources are there, and we're always available to help. So we appreciate any help, and we will try and be as of service as we can.
That's awesome, buddy. Keep up the great work for your mom and for everybody else with Alzheimer's. I want to talk to you about your major league debut. You had one of the more interesting debuts in the history of the Seattle Mariners 2 years ago. We go to Japan to open up the season. There's this fellow by the name of Ichiro playing in his final game in his professional baseball career. And then you go out there in the 8th inning before about 50,000 people at the Tokyo Dome. Tell us about your major league debut and what was that like for you?
I mean, like you said, it was so crazy. Like just thinking back that I was actually a part of it is still pretty surreal. And obviously, I mean, Ichiro is a legend in the States, and it's like 10 times out there. So we spent a few days there before those 2 games against Oakland, and just to see how the fans interacted with him and how they saw him. I mean, let's just put it, I walked outside the hotel and people knew who I was. So just imagine when he would. So obviously, we had a few exhibition games and I would replace him and I would get booed every time. And I always found it so funny because it's like, I don't have a choice. Like, I'm doing what I'm told. So I kind of had a feeling that if I were to get in, in the 2 games against Oakland, it would happen like that. And so they pull me and it's obviously planned where he runs out and then he runs back in. And then I would replace him. And obviously it's all about him. Like, that's his moment. So I was staying out of it, I gave him a hug and then I realized, I have to go play. Like, this isn't easy, and then I go out and I get booed. And as I'm running to right field, they say, Haniger is going to switch. And I was like, please, like, Haniger, come over here because I want to be as far away from this corner. But I mean, just that whole, series of events from making my MLB debut, realize I'm replacing, one of the greatest hitters of all time in 2 countries. And then everything that preceded the game with, Ichiro getting curtain called an hour after the game. And, stuff you really you probably will never see again. Just stuff like that was written in movies. So it was amazing and obviously something I'll never forget.
Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. and I were doing the game on radio along with Dave Sims for about an hour in the post game. We stayed and then we finally wrapped it up because we had to go. We had to leave and fly back home.
Yeah.
And it went down in the field and Ichiro still hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
And then he went out there to this ovation. So what a debut for you, buddy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Ty France, I'm so happy to see you in a Mariners uniform, kid. You can hit. You came over in a deal about halfway through the shortened season last year from the San Diego Padres with 3 other very talented young players in that deal, catcher Luis Torrens, and also Andres Munoz and Taylor Trammell. But young man, you can play. What was your reaction to the trade when you became a Seattle Mariners during the course of the season?
Yeah, I mean, the trade part was a crazy experience. We were in Colorado. We had a day game on Sunday, and then our team fantasy football draft was later that evening. And we were maybe 6 rounds into our team fantasy football draft when Jace Tingler tapped me on the shoulder and he said, hey, AJ Preller wants to talk to you. You got to come up to my room for a minute. And right then and there, I was like, oh man, like, it was probably pretty serious. So we went up there and told me I was traded to Seattle. And then after I processed that and called everyone, I realized, oh crap, I got to go down and finish the draft. So I went back down, said my goodbyes to everyone. And then the next day I was on a plane to Seattle, and I was super excited. This is a good opportunity career-wise for me, and I've heard nothing but great things about the Mariners organization, the Mariners fans. So I'm happy to be here. This will be fun.
You're gonna love it here, buddy. How'd your football team do, by the way?
We missed playoffs by 1 game. So yeah, once I got traded, I kind of fell off the fantasy football team as well. I guess there could only be like 2 people on the app at once, and there was 3 of us on a team, so I kind of got the boot since I wasn't on the team anymore.
That's all right. I'm glad you're on this team. Ty, before signing with the Mariners, you started for 3 years in college at San Diego State University, and you played for one of the greatest hitters I've ever seen, one of the greatest hitters the game has ever seen, in Tony Gwynn. What did you learn from Tony as a hitter?
He, like you said, was one of the best to ever do it. And so coming onto campus as an 18-year-old baseball player, you kind of think you got it all figured out. And then he simply tells you, as far as hitting, get in position, take your best swing. And I'm like, well, I need more than that, coach. Like, you're the greatest to ever do it. Like, I'm doing that and I'm not getting your results. So I need something a little more. But when you think about hitting, that's, to simplify it as much as you can, that's really all it is. And, to his advantage at, age 52 or 53, whatever he was, he could still, I remember sitting in the dugout and as soon as the pitcher's hands broke, he could see what pitch was coming. He'd call it out, slider, change up, and I'm like, I have no clue what you're seeing, but so that's why he was Tony Gwynn. But aside from the baseball stuff, he was just an all around, like, he was a good life coach. I mean, he wanted you to be the best human being you could be. And it's as far as doing just the little things right every single day. That was one of the biggest lessons I learned there, is just continue to do all the little things right, and the rest will take care of itself. And so, I'm very fortunate and thankful I got to play for him.
Yeah, great lessons from a great man, great hitter. Almost hit 400 a couple of times. You almost hit 400 into the minor leagues at AAA, El Paso. You hit 399. You want to go back there and get another hit?
It was funny because I had gotten sent back down to AAA for like a month and a half when I got recalled to the big leagues. Andy Green was my manager at the time, and he was like, "Oh, we thought about leaving you down there for one more game so you can get one more hit, but we needed you up here a little more." So, that thought crossed their mind, but I'm glad they didn't.
Crossed my mind when I saw your average. That 399. You grew up in Southern California.
The last game I went 1 for 5. So if I would have just gotten one more, I would have been all right.
I'll tell you what, 399, not too shabby. Yeah. You grew up in Southern California, born in Downey, and I think you grew up in West Covina, California. It's kind of like a suburb of Los Angeles. Who was your favorite team growing up as a kid, and who were some of your favorite players?
I grew up a big Angels fan. My aunt, her boss had season tickets and would always give her the tickets when I was a kid, and she'd take me to hundreds of games. So I grew up a huge Angel fan. That 2002 team, David Eckstein, Darren Erstad, Troy Gloss, all those guys.
World Series.
Yeah, getting to watch all those guys. But for me, growing up as a kid, I really enjoyed watching Ken Griffey Jr. play. I'm a right-handed hitter, and as a kid, I remember trying to mimic my swing right-handed to his. So it was him and Mark McGwire were my two favorites growing up to watch.
That's awesome. He's a great guy to look up to. All right, everybody out there, it's time to take some questions from the fans for Braden and for Ty. Are you ready? And just like we've done on our past caravans in person, we're going to do it virtually right now. So let's get some questions from the fans for Braden and for Ty. Okay, we got one here. This is from Mike Barksdale. What advice would you give to kids who hope to play Major League Baseball one day? We'll go with both of you guys. Braden, we'll start with you.
I think the biggest thing is, if you're serious about it, it takes a lot of work, but I think like the biggest thing is just like enjoy where you're at. Because I remember when I was younger, I always wanted to like get to the next level, and then I would get there and want to get to the next one, look back, and it was like, I don't think I like truly enjoyed like youth baseball and then high school baseball. Because obviously if you are lucky enough to make it to the major leagues, a lot of those kids that you played with aren't as lucky. And so just like enjoying those relationships, having a ton of fun, and then being serious about the work. And as you grow, good habits will form, and then hopefully you find yourself in a position to play in the major leagues one day.
There you go. Ty, how about you?
Yeah, I think, for me, as cliche as it sounds, is like, don't ever give up. My route to where I got, or where I am, has not always been the easiest. I was never the high school All-American or, picked to the area code teams, or, if you don't have the easiest route, I'll just keep going. That's what I did. And, I was a 34th round draft pick.
Yeah.
Was in a sense not supposed to be here today. So just keep working. If you really love it, keep going, and it'll all work itself out.
Young man, you were hitting like 356 in college. I don't know what clubs were thinking, but in that 34th round. But I'm glad you signed, and I'm glad you're in a Mariners uniform right now, because you can hit. All right, how about another question from one of our fans tonight here in our virtual tour? Logan, age 7 guys, is wondering, how badly does it hurt when you get hit by a pitch?
I'll start with this one, as this was part of my game. I get hit a lot. And honestly, it just depends where you get hit at. Most of the time, it stings for a little bit, but feels pretty good getting to go down to first base for free.
Braden?
Yeah, I got hit. I might not be the right person to ask because I got hit in the ribs last year and ended up rupturing my spleen. So I guess I used to be like Ty, where like I would get hit a lot, but now I get out of the way. That's a business decision for me.
Yeah, that was a tough injury to come back from, buddy.
Very.
Yeah. All right. How about another question from one of our fans tonight? Here's a question from Richard. Who is your biggest supporter, guys? Braden or Ty?
For me, aside from my parents, it would probably be my fiance. A lot of people don't see the minor league side of this, and just the overall grind that it takes, and having someone in your corner to be able to support you through all of it, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. That's like, I feel like most people would probably say their significant other, like aside from your family or your parents, your wife. Like my wife was with me through the injuries and the rehab and the travel and being away, for 5, 6, 7 months at a time. So definitely my wife.
Exactly. Yeah. Being in the minor leagues is tough and battling. It's always have that great support from your family. All right. How about another question here on our virtual tour for either Braden or Ty? All right. Here's one from Ryan Weaver, guys. Braden, huge dog fan here. What is your best memory about playing for the University of Washington, the Dogs?
Best memory. I was baseball memory. My sophomore year, so we hadn't made the postseason in 10 years, and it was 2014, and we were, at the top of the Pac-12 standings at the time, and looking good to make the postseason. And then we ended up playing Oregon at home, and we won Friday. They won Saturday. They were winning by 2 runs going into the 9th inning. And then our second baseman, I'm getting a hit and clearing the bases, and we walked off to beat Oregon for like the first time since they had been a new college baseball team again. So that was definitely one of the craziest and fondest memories as a Husky for sure.
Ty, how about you at San Diego State? What was your best moment there?
We had a pretty good run for the 3 years that I was there. We ended up winning 3 conference championships, and my freshman year, I was having a tough season up until about, I'd say, 3/4 of the way through the year. We went to the conference tournament, and I got to play against guys like Aaron Judge, DJ Peterson. And a lot of big name guys that are still playing, and had a really good tournament. I think I went like 16 for 21 on the offensive side, and ended up winning the Mountain West MVP of the tournament. So that was a lot of fun for me. And then getting to go to the regionals, we played against UCLA. They ended up winning it that year, and just that environment in general was really cool.
That's an exciting environment. I played at Southern Illinois University. I was on the JV team. This was 100 years ago when they had JV teams. And my junior year, our varsity went to the College World Series, finished 3rd in the country. But the year before, in 1973, we went to the regionals, and we lost to the University of Minnesota, and this big right-handed pitcher shut us out and hit a home run and beat us 3-0. His name, Dave Winfield. Beat us for the University of Minnesota. So you guys got some great memories there in college. How about some more questions from the fans here on our Mariners Care Community Tour for Braden Bishop and Ty France? Okay, this is from Jay Cross. When did you hit your very first home run in your life, and how did you feel? First home run in your life.
That's a good question. I want to say I was maybe like 7 or 8 years old. And I don't remember the exact tournament or whatever it was, but I ended up hitting a grand slam. And yeah, I mean, it was, pretty special if I can still remember it to this day. But yeah, it was, I think it was 8, around 8.
Man, grand slam, that's worth 2 ice cream cones, right? As a kid.
It was 2 Gatorades.
Two Gatorades. Right, I mean, get some ice cream cones, some pizza with that, man. Braden, how about you?
Yeah, I would say probably around the same age, but I can remember playing at a field that didn't have a fence. So, like, obviously, if you hit it over the outfielders' heads, you could get it inside the park home run. So I remember I loved just like, making that circle or square, I guess, around the bases. And then like slowly as I got older, like obviously that feeling's addicting, but the difference between Ty and I is like, as I got older, the excitement of running around became more realistic for me. And the excitement of hitting the homer actually became Ty's career. So
yeah, that's funny, man. It's a lot of fun when you hit your first home run, no matter where it is. Let's go to another question. This is from Sam. Who is your favorite sports hero, Ty?
We kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. Coach Gwynn, getting to play for him and learning from him, it was definitely a special experience. And, to this day, whenever, I'm not feeling right in the box, I'll just go watch one of his YouTube highlight tapes and a couple of his interviews and, get me back to normal.
That'll do it, man. How about you, Braden? Who is your favorite sports hero?
If you would ask me like a couple years ago, it probably been different, but I think the more that I grow and learn about different things, I think I'd say Muhammad Ali. I think because of the fact that, what he stood for, obviously what type of athlete he was, but then also what type of human being he was and what he stood for, and obviously what he went through, to make the statements that he made and to stand for his community. It definitely speaks to me more as I get older and learn more.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting him one time outside a restaurant in Sedona, Arizona, many years ago.
Wow.
Chance to say hello. Wow, that was something. Mine was a guy, I don't even know if you remember this guy, many years ago, Louis Aparicio, shortstop for the Chicago White Sox, Hall of Fame shortstop back in the 50s and in the 1960s. All right, how about some more questions for Braden and Ty? And this one is from Tom. Tom says, what have you guys, the three of you, spent your extra free time on over the past year? I guess all of us. So Braden and Ty, it's been a strange year for everybody. It's great to say goodbye to 2020 as we look forward to 2021. How you been spending your free time?
For me, it's just been, trying to stay occupied with the puppy. She's a handful, running laps around the house and, taking her out to the dog beach. The last year has been a crazy year. And, like I mentioned, she's brought a lot of joy to us.
Awesome. How about you, Braden?
Well, obviously with COVID and the pandemic, running a charity became a little difficult. We were supposed to have 17 events in 2020, which obviously we had to scrap. So, doing a lot of reorganizing and rethinking of how we were going to get creative until we could get back together again. So that took a lot of time. Started a coffee company, which it's connected to the charity. It's called Cognition Coffee Company. Coffee and caffeine have benefits to brain health. So $1 from every purchase of that goes to the charity. And then some other side projects just to try and help athletes, basically empower athletes to use their voice and their platform that they have to make a difference in their communities. So I definitely kept my hands full, that's for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, I took 3 walks every day I love to cook. I was baking Italian bread. I even tried some banana bread. I burnt that. So, but I ate the top half. Top half was okay. But I tried everything. Saw every episode of Yellowstone. Did you guys binge watch any series like that on Netflix or anything past the time? And if so, what was some of your favorite series, if you did?
I'm not too much. I'm not a huge like movie or Netflix person. No, I spend my time more going out and, like you said, taking walks, doing stuff like that.
Yeah, staying outside. How about you, Braden?
I watched my wife and I watched Suits on Amazon Prime. Yeah, it was really good. I went to school at Washington. My major was Law, Society, and Justice, and that show's all about lawyers in New York. So probably boring to some, but it was interesting to me.
That would have been interesting to you, Ty. Didn't you major in criminal justice in college?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I haven't finished yet. I still have 1 year left, but yeah, I was studying criminal justice.
If the baseball thing didn't work out, and I'm glad it did, you're going to be a baseball player for a long time. What were you going to be with that?
Honestly, I'm not sure. There's a lot of things I found interesting. The DEA I did a project on, and one of my college coaches, he ended up working for the DEA, and I found that stuff really interesting. So maybe we would have went that route.
All right. How about another question for Ty France or Braden Bishop? We've got another 10 minutes or so here. Any more questions? And I think we have a few more. This is from David. Braden, how do you balance baseball and running a charity at the same time?
It's definitely challenging, but I think I like that part of it. Obviously in college, it was just me. I was doing pretty much all the legwork, responding to emails, handling donations, trying to set up events and make connections. And then obviously I got to a point where it was like, all right, my job is to play baseball, and I owe that to, the people who gave me this opportunity, and then also to the team I play for. So then I'm lucky enough where the charity grew enough where I could hire help to basically run the day-to-day stuff. But my hand is still very much in it because it's such a personal cause to me.
Yeah.
But it's doable. It definitely is a lot, but you just got to use your time wisely.
Exactly. Got to really budget your time. Keep up the great work. How about another question for Braden or Ty? And this is from Josh. What has you most excited? A great question right here. What has you most excited about the 2021 season? Ty, you're the newcomer here.
For me, it's kind of just getting settled in Seattle. Like I said, I've heard so many great things about the organization, the fans, and I hopefully get the chance to play in front of all of them. And then, the good group of guys we have here, we're young, but, coming from San Diego last year, who had a good mixture of like the veterans and young guys, I don't feel like we're far off from, that winning organization. And, I'm definitely looking forward to get back out there.
Braden, how about you? When you take a look around with all the young talent here, you're taking a look at Ty right there, and of course yourself and all the young talent in this organization. You really got to be excited to get to spring training.
Definitely. I think I'm one of the last left over from the old regime from pre-2015. And, obviously see some of the roadblocks we've hit as an organization, and then the commitment to the rebuild. Obviously you can only tell, the fans to be patient for so long, over 20 years, not going to playoffs. But to be perfectly honest, like, to see some of these young guys, like to see, somebody like Ty, who I played against all the way through the minor leagues, and like seeing how good of a baseball player he is. And then, to spend some time with a Julio Rodriguez and a Jared Kelnick, a Logan Gilbert, like, these guys are just different. Like, like I said, I was here, pre Jerry DiPoto, and I was with Jack Z, and to see the evolution of player that has come through this organization, I think, obviously it's tough to know for sure, but they're just different. And I think, God willing, in the future, I really think, you match those guys with guys like Ty, and I think you're going to have something really special. Like Ty said, I mean, it could look something like what the Padres are doing.
Exactly. It's going to be exciting for a long time to come here with yourself, Ty, and all those young players that we even saw this year. Kyle Lewis become the American League Rookie of the Year, and Justice Sheffield and Justin Dunn on the rotation. Evan White wins a Gold Glove at first base. J.P. Crawford winning a Gold Glove at shortstop. Ty and Braden, we got a lot to look forward to, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, there's so much talent on this team, and throughout the organization in general, it's there's special things coming.
You betcha.
Yeah, I definitely echo that.
How about another question for either Braden or Ty? And I think we have one here from Addie Gray. What is your favorite sport other than baseball?
For me, it's football. I grew up playing both baseball and football, and I chose baseball, and thankfully it worked out. But I'd say up until my junior year of high school, I considered football as my number one sport. And then once I got to San Diego State, I saw how big the linemen were, and I realized I made the right decision. And, if San Diego State linemen are that big, I can only imagine what Alabama looks like. So,
exactly. I think your puppy's hungry. I think your puppy's
mine.
Getting hungry.
Oh, that's mine.
That's Braden's.
Oh, that's yours.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was your favorite sport, Braden, other than baseball?
Football. I played football growing up as well, but I think my favorite is hockey for sure. My dad worked for the San Jose Sharks, so I kind of grew up in the ranks. So that's definitely my favorite sport to watch.
What did your dad do for the Sharks?
He was the director of security on the NHL Players Association side.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. He worked really closely with the players, so it was definitely cool growing up in that environment.
Yeah, that is really cool. When I was with the Detroit Tigers for 3 years, we had a chance to skate with the Red Wings, and I met Stevie Yzerman and Dino Ciccarelli and Bob Probert and
Chelios.
Yeah, that was really special. Those guys are incredible. I think they skate before they walk.
Yeah, exactly.
They're so good. How about a few more questions for Ty France and for Braden Bishop? And I think we have one here from Josh. This is for Braden. How are you changing your approach to the 2021 season compared to the past with all the new protocols in place? Braden?
I mean, I guess I don't even know yet. Obviously 2020 was definitely way different in terms of not having the fan interaction. So you lose that piece completely.
Yeah.
And then I don't even think we really know what 2021 is going to look like. But, if it does, obviously, I think the coolest part about baseball players is we do have the ability to really adapt and adjust to what's going on.
Yeah.
And obviously you give a huge testament to the organizations and, how they keep their players safe. So at the end of the day, they can just focus on playing baseball. And that's why there's so many moving pieces behind the scenes that, everybody doesn't see, from the clubbies to the trainers, to the upper management, just making stuff happen so we can focus on playing. And I'm sure it's going to be the exact same.
It was really tough for us too, broadcasting, because I go to the ballpark, had to park on the upper level of the garage and go right to the booth. Could not go down to the clubhouse, and rightly so, because you guys wanted to stay healthy, but you guys were so close, and I'm so used to being on that field every day, talking with you all and getting stories. I can't get to these guys, and but we had to do it. Ty, what was it like? What was it like for you last year in a shortened season?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like Braden touched on, it was definitely a crazy year. All the testing and We were set up in different locker rooms. I think we had 3 different locker rooms. Like our kitchen was set up in the Diamond Club. So like it was a ton of moving parts. And like Braden said, we were just able to adapt. And the organizations did a great job of making sure we were healthy, safe, able to just go out and play.
It's outstanding that we got through, even though it was only 60 games. It was outstanding. We got through the season, got to the postseason. We saw some different changes, in the game with different rules, but we made it. And now here it is, 2021. How about another question for Braden or for Ty? Hey, this is fun, guys. Here's a question from somebody. Can we meet your dog?
I'll go grab her real quick.
Yeah, get your dog. I'll go get your cat.
Hey, Sparky, where are you?
Sparky, where's your dog, Braden?
I don't know. He's probably running around outside or something.
Sparky's usually right here. I named him after Sparky Anderson.
Oh, there you
go. I love this cat, man. He helped get me through last year. Oh, what a good-looking dog!
Wow.
How cute is that guy, Ty? What's his name?
Her name's Oakley.
Oakley. Hi, Oakley. Oh, man, just want to hug him, man. Oh, how old is he or her?
She's 1.5 years.
Gee, what a great-looking dog, man. Oh, she loves her daddy, too. Oh, my.
Hi.
All the kisses.
She thinks I have treats, that's why.
You got her as a puppy?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you are going to enjoy her for a long, long time. That is awesome, man. What's your dog's name, Braden?
His name's Dodge, and he's a teacup Yorkie. He's like that big.
Really?
Yeah.
He can have fun with Oakley, running around, chasing each other on the field or something like that.
Yeah.
Good spring training. Oh, man. Great question. I'm glad somebody asked that. Any other questions for Braden or for Ty? All right. Here's a little guy, age 5. Eric wants to know who's the funniest guy on the team, guys?
Ooh, funniest guy on the team.
I'd say Evan White. He's a pretty big jokester. He likes to have a good time.
He's got that dry humor.
Yeah. He's also an easy target too. People pick on him too.
Shed's pretty funny. He's also an easy target.
Really? What's the biggest practical joke you played on somebody or somebody played on you?
I mean, rookie dress-up day was not fun. Seager dressed me up as a Washington State cheerleader, and that broke my heart.
I remember that. Yeah, that had to really hurt for you.
That was tough.
How about you, Ty?
Yeah, I mean, probably rookie dress-up. I had to dress up as a little fish, like a goldfish. That was probably – they didn't really personalize it like they did with you guys over there, making Braden do that. But, that was probably the biggest prank that they pulled on me.
I don't play many pranks, but I did many years ago at spring training at Tempe, Arizona, at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Kenny Phelps was our slugging first baseman. And he came up to me one day. He said, "Hey, Rizzer," I had my tape recorder, cassette tape recorder. He said, "Can I use your tape recorder?" I said, "Yeah, Digger, for what?" He says, "I want to go out and sing the national anthem." And so he went out to center field and nobody was around, sang the national anthem on this tape recorder. He brought it back and I listened to it. He said, "Hey, Rizzer, how'd I sound?" I said, "Oh, Digger, you were great. That was outstanding, buddy. You got some pipes." So, "Oh, thanks a lot." So anyway, we get ready for the game and I go to the public address announcer up at Tempe Diablo Stadium. I said, "Hey, Bob, instead of playing the regular anthem, play this tape." So he goes, "Who is it?" I said, "Just play this tape." And so he did at the start of the game, and the guys were lined up, in front of the dugout. And if looks could kill, Kenny, I would have been dead. Kenny Phelps looked up to the booth and went, like.
That's dirty, Riz. That's dirty.
It was terrible. But Kenny is one of my best friends in the game of baseball, and we had a good laugh over it. Oh my goodness. How about one more question? This has been fun, man. Our first caravan tour. virtual
This will be
tour
our
of
last
2021.
question, Rick.
Last question. All right, this is from Jackson. How old were you guys when you started playing baseball? Also, do you have advice for young players?
I started playing when I was 2. I know that's really young, but I just fell in love with the game early, and just make sure you enjoy it and really love what you're doing. There's going to be a lot of bumps in the road as you progress throughout your careers, but when it stops being fun, that's a good time to shut it down. So make sure you just enjoy the game.
That's great advice, Ty. How about you, Braden? How old were you when you started playing, and what advice for young players?
I was about 5 when I started playing, and the advice is the same, pretty much the same as Ty. Like, obviously when you're young, it's easy to have fun, but then as you start getting more competitive, it tends to sometimes become how bad your parents want you to play, and to just have as much fun as you can, enjoy the teammates you have. A lot of your friends are probably going to play. So definitely have as much fun as you can and enjoy the people around you.
That's what this game is all about. You got to have fun. So go out there and enjoy the greatest game that there is in this world, the game of baseball. Braden Bishop, Ty France, thank you so much for joining us on our first virtual caravan Mariners community tour of the 2021 season. You guys were outstanding. Can't wait to see you at spring training.
Can't wait. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
For having us on. Look forward to seeing all you guys out there.
You're welcome. Braden Bishop and Ty France. That wraps up our question and answer session with Braden and Ty. Thank you guys so much for your time this evening. Now, before we wrap things up, we want to show you a little video that's going to give you a glimpse of what you can look forward to in 2021. You're going to love it. I'm looking forward to an exciting new season, and I know you are too. So thank you one and all for joining us today. Laura Fielding from Canuck Place in Vancouver, British Columbia. Thank you, sweetie. Along with our season ticket member, Andrea Berman, along with Braden Bishop and Ty France. So long, everybody. And on behalf of the Seattle Mariners, thank you very much. Enjoy the video.
Last season, baseball's youngest team led the American League in stolen bases. And it was one of the top defensive clubs in the game.
Holy smokes, Kyle Lewis!
Featured 2 Gold Glovers in the infield.
Are you kidding? That was gorgeous.
Evan Watt making the catch!
Plus another with the hardware in his trophy case.
What a play!
Don't forget the unanimous AL Rookie of the Year.
God home run, Kyle Lewis! You cannot stop number 1.
And top rookie starter.
Justice Sheffield strikes out the side.
With the Bulldog atop the rotation.
Bulldog tough, you bet.
Oh, and throw in one of baseball's best farm systems. And we've got one question.
Are you ready for more?
Mariners baseball.
That was absolutely fantastic.